When I saw Mark hit the ball with his irons, I saw that he was coming from inside the ball quite a bit. So most of his shots start slightly right of target, and then he either hangs them out there to the right, or his hands get quite active and turns the ball right to left. Sometimes too much so it misses the target left. So we spoke about trying to get a little bit more width to his golf swing, give him a bit more time to hit the ball, see if we can neutralise the path, get it more down the target line.
My backswing was coming way on the inside. So the initial thought was that we tried to get an extension.
When I watched him hit the ball in his fitting, he was taking the club back and the club face was quite closed. So we tried to neutralise that and position it halfway back on the backswing, see if he could hinge his wrist up a little bit more. He tended to take it away inside with a closed club face and does tend to cause that loss of spine angle and starting the ball right of target if you're not careful.
My club head was hooded going back, therefore you get a very inconsistent strike when you come back down. So we ironed that out over about a quarter of an hour period, just through sort of muscle memory, getting it in the right place. Also, there was a lack of wrist hinge as a result of the inward movement of my arm. So we had an extension. We also had the thumbs and the wrists going into a hinge. Gave us a more consistent strike and a better ball flight.
Just did a few balls now with his new movement and feeling, and was managing to take the club away as part of a pre-shot routine, so he could get the feeling of what he was trying to do in his actual golf swing. It seemed to work really nicely and got the ball online more.
It's reiterating what the coach told me earlier on in the year, being able to strike down onto the ball as opposed to striking up onto the ball.
He spoke a lot about struggling with his wedges, and he takes a lot of statistics and manages to identify that his scrambling was an area that he struggled with, and noticed that quite often he'd missed the greens. So we talked about trying to aim for specific parts of the green and try and think about it in a slightly more safe method for him to hit more greens in regulation initially. And then with his wedges, we talked about trying to control the length of the swing and making sure he was using his body to turn onto the ball rather than flicking the ball with his hands.
We're going to have this hinge again, but the shoulder and the torso is moving through the ball, and I'm putting weight on my left side, whereas before, because of this funny inward swing, my weight was stuck on the right hand side. Therefore, sort of coming from the inside and flicking up on my wedges.
With his new clubs and with the changes we've talked about with his technique, I think he could save probably 4 or 5 shots around. I'd be surprised if he doesn't see a handicap reduction this year.